Starting with some silicone prosthetics, I map them out to see where I want them, and I go around the edge with talcum powder and a puff, and that way I can map out where I need to apply the prosthetic glue. So I apply that in the areas I know I need and also on the prosthetics, and once they're dry and tacky I can press in place. I'm just using a flat latex sponge at this point with the prosthetic, and a glove as well to avoid the sticky hand. So I dry in between as well to make sure it's fully dry before I press into place. So it's quite an easy prosthetic. I line up where the brow bone would be and any bone kind of area would be to help to know where to press into place. And then unfortunately these ain't encapsulated, so I'll go around the edge with prosthetic glue. And that's to push against the prosthetic and the skin to ensure that both areas on the outer edges have got the glue in place. Because when applying the pieces this way, sometimes the glue gets missed easily. So this is a way to make sure it's all on all the areas. And I'll also do this to build up the area. Once in place and I'm happy with it, I'll apply it to the areas that need thickness and to avoid any bad edging. And I love to use a spatula to flatten the edges. So that's what I was doing there. And here, instead of using prosthetic glue now though, which is still fine, but I was using bondo in pinky. It's a bit thicker consistency, pretty much similar product, similar payoff, but it helps build up thickness really quickly and easily. So I really enjoy this product to blend edges of any prosthetic pieces. And I'm just doing that in an area that needs it. So now I'm placing some prosthetic glue in an area that I know that I'm going to use a prosthetic transfer, because I had some prosthetic transfers lying about that was weird random textures and boil kind of textures. So I pressed that in place and I use a cotton pad with, not cotton pad, but a puffer pad with water, and I press it in place and it peel it off. And the same in that area there too. So same concept, just press it in place and then wet it off and it'll peel off. So in this area, I've positioned some glue, and I'll also press the eye prosthetic in place. This is a gelatine prosthetic by Nimba Creations. I pre-painted this as well because obviously with one eye, this is covering an eye of course, so with one eye left, it would have been harder to paint my face, which it was a lot harder. So yeah, to get ahead of that, I pre-painted that piece and then positioned it and applied it, and there we go. So I'm blending the edges now with witch hazel just to blend any edges away. Luckily it won't affect the silicone prosthetic underneath, but that's the best thing to blend any edges away, is witch hazel on a gelatine prosthetic. So once happy with any edging fixing I'm doing, I powdered with talcum powder and went over with the puffer again. And now I'm using a detail brush, a stippling brush by Bodandelium Tools, and with a rose pink colour from Skin Illustrator, really watered down with IPA, 99% IPA, and I'm just stippling that all over the contours of this prosthetic, trying to hide any edges, also to bring any depth in my face, around the nose to make it look sore, around the mouth and the ears, and over the prosthetic slightly as well, because I don't want it to stand out too much. We want it to blend in with everything else and be cohesive. So I layer up some yellow sickly colours and some brown spotling, like a freckling colour, and then I also layer up some bruising tones too. So it's a lot about layering, but trying to be translucent with it as well. So yeah, I'm just trying to make some areas look really sickly. And then going with an airbrush and a nude skin tone colour. I can't remember what the colour was. I think it was ghastly. And I was mottling effect over all the areas. So this is to make everything else that I've done so far a background colour, and this is to layer up the top colour. So I'm bringing that Caucasian skin tone in to try and match with my neck and shoulders. Even though I'm heavily tattooed, it's quite hard to match up, obviously, but I was definitely not as pink as what previously was. So I just went over with this kind of tone, and then now I'm using a lividity tone, and that's to cause this bruising effect, this vein effect. And I'm trying to create a mottling, veining, mottling effect, just to bring everything together now and blend everything together, drawing lines over the edging, which create, a breakup of the edge. And it also brings everything to life a little bit. It's all about slow, thin layers to build up. I went over my eye contour, went over my lip, went over my nose, went over any contour areas and some veining areas. I just had fun with it. If you ever got a shake or a wiggly hand, this is the perfect time to use it. It's just to have fun with this colour, but without being too intense and too dramatic, about being subtle and building up. I wanted to try and get that sickly, disgusting feel. Some areas I've already put colour there, but I'm building up again anyway. So now I'm using a Dermaflage product, which is absolutely amazing, by the way. It's like a colour silicone with a silicone A and B, I guess. So when it comes out at the end, it mixes together and it creates a perfect mix that will set as silicone. So this one's called Inflame Red, and I'm using it as a veining effect. So it adds dimension to the design, it breaks up any edges. Oh, it's just fantastic. I absolutely love this product. Like, I had to stop just using it, I had to put it down. So this one is in a dried blood colour now. So I went over the eye prosthetic, so the open wound, so it could have done with some depth, and I went over in any other boil kind of areas, my nose and ears, as if I'd been protruding blood. Same brand, just amazing product. I absolutely love that. So this is a I can't remember what this is called. I'm sorry. If you need to know this product, please do question below and I will let you know. But it's kind of like a pus product. I thought it'd be more yellow than what it was, but it's actually more white. So it just looks infected and sore and gross, which kind of goes with the look and the concept and the theme. So just pulling some of my hair down now because I don't want it to be too restricted, too neat, not for such a shovelled look. There we go. I'm pretending that I've been injected by a needle. So that was the concept. I was joking about that I'd been affected by vaccine trials and things like that, but I'm not an anti-vaxxer at all. So I would never think you'd ever look like this by being an anti-vaxxer. So please do not take those words as gospel. So I'm going with aged blood now, dried blood, and going over the eye prosthetic and bringing it down, making it look a bit gory. It is Halloween after all. It does bring a bit more to the look and a bit of dimension. And yeah, posing it out, making it look gross and painful and disgusting. And here we go, ready to pull it off. You shouldn't really pull prosthetics off like that. You should actually use a cleanser and be a little bit nicer and gentle to your skin. But I do these for fun. I see people like the removal of the prosthetics online, and yeah, it's a bit of a cheap social way of showing this and having a bit of fun with it. So anyway, hope you like it. Thank you. Bye.